Alrighty.
Good afternoon and welcome to our first Trades and Apprenticeship Workforce Information Session. This is our first, but we hope it won't be our last. We are very excited this afternoon to have a wealth of information to share with our seniors from Battlefield, Brentsville, and Patriot High Schools. We will enjoy information coming from Lockheed Martin, the Associated Builders and Contractors, JATC Electrical Apprenticeships, and Lord Fairfax Community College Workforce Solutions. Please take notes. We will have actually, you don't have to take notes. I'll take that back. We are recording this, so it will be available for students and parents. We will begin our session with Ms. Melissa Boyle, who is Systems Engineer Manager with Lockheed Martin. Welcome, Ms. Boyle.
Did you want to start with Darlene, Melissa?
Darlene, what's your schedule like? Would you like to go ahead and roll first? You're muted right now.
Okay, yes. Would that mess you up, Melissa? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. We're going to start with Darlene Hart. And Darlene, I'm going to let you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Darlene Hart. I am the Workforce Development Director for ABC Virginia, and ABC stands for Associated Builders and Contractors. We are a construction association that serves the industry in many ways. If you're a contractor, if you supply materials to a contractor, or if you provide a service to a contractor, we have a place for you. I have a partner, Courtney Baker, with the Associated General Contractors, and together we run a website called Build Your Future Virginia, which I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. I have been working for ABC for about 20 years. I just passed that mark in July. When I started, I was just doing office administration, and now I kind of do the workforce development. I've been working with apprentices for 20 years. One of the things I enjoy the most is seeing a lot of the people who were students when I started here at ABC now running their own construction companies. And I'm seeing their students come through. So I work with high schoolers. I work with people actually all the way up to age 80 and above as they come to us for training and help and just anything that they need in the industry. I have a little PowerPoint here that I'm going to show everyone. You can see this? Am I sharing my screen? Or,
Are you able to let her share?
Now. You can see now. Okay, yes. Perfect. Let's see, I just have to start from the beginning. Sometimes it goes to my computer, so I'm sorry.
No worries.
Okay, so builders and contractors, I just told you a little bit about what that is. And today I just want to talk to you about some careers in construction. A lot of times when I speak with high school students or when I speak with younger people, there's a myth about what a career in construction looks like. And that myth is that it's just a regular guy with a tool belt whose job really never changes. He just kind of does the same old thing. It's just boring old Joe. And what it really is there's a whole path in construction where you can start down here in middle school and work your way up to wherever you want to stop. Like a building that goes up, your career can go up in construction as well. I'm going to show you a couple of pictures of our website, Build Your Future, and then I'm actually going to take you to that website at the end of the presentation. But just for your reference, this is virginia.buildyourbyf.org. And our goal is to bring people into the industry. We work with Lord Fairfax Community College. We work with lots of schools. We work with lots of companies. We don't really have any specific, a specific person we're looking for. We're just looking to fill the industry. That's the purpose of BYF, is to bring people into the industry no matter where they go. A couple of people I always like to share Lisa Witt. She probably, you think Lisa, a lady, not always your first thought about a construction worker, but Lisa Witt works for a big company called Skanska, and she loves her job in the field. She's a superintendent for a general contractor. And to kind of just explain what a general contractor does, you're going to hear from Lockheed Martin, and they make airplanes. A general contractor is almost like the director of lots of airplanes coming in. They're kind of like an air traffic controller, and they're in charge of a construction site, and they decide, when the electricians can come in, and when the plumbers can come in, and when the site workers can come in. So they kind of direct the traffic on a construction site. Lisa does that for Skanska, and she loves her job so much that she volunteers every year to serve as the coordinator of Skills USA, which is a high school skills competition that happens around the state. These are just a few pictures from Skills USA. This is a high school student who was in the carpentry contest. This is a piece of equipment. Sometimes, what you do in construction is based on what you like doing at home or out in the field or wherever you are. If you like video games, if you like playing with remote controllers, joysticks, here's a piece of equipment that runs just like a video game. It's on the ground, and it's good for people who like to do those kinds of things. So you could be an equipment operator. Here is a picture of one of our welders from the Skills USA competition. This is a high school student. He's learning welding skills, which can be used not only in construction, but in other areas of the world, airplanes, Navy ships, welding skills. There's a big shortage of welders. And so this is a skill that can be used in construction or outside of construction. Here we have a lady or a young lady looking over some of the plans at the Skills USA contest. And the reason I love this picture of her is because she and her partner finished first place in this competition for the carpentry contest. So she's looking over the plans, getting ready for the contest, and she finished first in this contest. Next, we have one of my instructors. This is Chance, and when I started working at ABC, probably about 10 years in, Chance was one of my apprentices that went to school at night. He was fresh out of high school, and he went to work for a contractor as a helper. He ended up becoming an apprentice, and about halfway through his apprenticeship, they brought him into the office, and they, wanted to use him as an estimator. And so now that's what he's doing. He's not even 30 years old, but he is estimating jobs for a pretty big construction company in the electrical field. And one of the things that makes him so good at estimating is that he actually worked in the field with the materials and with the processes. So he knows what it really costs to do these jobs. Next, I have a picture of another apprentice of mine here in Richmond, Virginia. Dominion just built a huge headquarters downtown, Dominion Virginia Power. And this building is one of the prime big pieces of real estate downtown. And this gentleman here was the plumbing decision maker on this job. He went to college. He was at college for about 2 years on a swimming scholarship. And he decided that college was not for him. So he left and went to work for a buddy who was a plumber. And after leaving there, he went to work for a construction company where he was an apprentice. He graduated. When he graduated, he became a superintendent. He taught school for me for a couple of years before this Dominion project, and he retired from teaching just to work on this project because he was going to be the, like I said, plumbing decision maker, and he just wasn't able to teach for us anymore. The next slide, again, another former apprentice. This gentleman was actually in the Marines. He guarded both Presidents Bush and Clinton. And when he left the Marines, he went to work for a company, and he is now the office executive for that company down in North Carolina. Some other photos I just wanted to share with you. a lot of times when I ask the question about what is construction to you or what do you think about in the industry, people immediately talk about building houses. And building houses is a great answer, but when we build houses, we also have to build the communities that go with those houses. And so these are just a couple of fun pictures I like to show students that you can do. This is a demolition of a downtown project. This is the finished Virginia Power headquarters. This is a mall that is really not being used anymore, as you can see, as times are changing and lots of people are shopping online. Our malls are kind of dying. And so this particular mall here is getting ready to be turned into a sports complex. So there's always construction happening around us. There's new construction. There are things that are being rebuilt. This is just a picture of a site development. All of these trees used to cover the whole area, and now it's been cleared and it's going to be more homes. This is a scaffolding project, so not everything you can do, you can get to by a ladder. Sometimes there's elaborate scaffolding that is involved in a project, and so another phase of construction. This particular project is just insulation. Sometimes when we think of insulation, we think of that pink itchy stuff in our attics, but this is actual mechanical insulation that helps your water stay hot. It helps your heat and your air stay warm and cold. Why choose construction? There is a demand. Right now, we do not have enough workers in the industry. And so as more people are retiring or getting out of it for other reasons as they age on, we have a big demand for workers in the industry. It's something that gives you instant gratification. For those of you who are in high school right now, I have a junior in high school, and he likes to have things done right now. He's used to just getting an answer right away or getting something right away. So construction also provides that. You can start it with no previous experience. And in every day of construction, you see development, you see project in every stage. So there's unlimited growth opportunity, and there's also lots of money to be made. There are travel opportunities. You know, if your company is working on a project out of town, you get to go and work on a project out of town. It's something that is different every day. It's physical. You take pride in knowing that you were a part of something being built. When I showed you the Dominion Power Project, the gentleman in that project told me one of the things he loved about it was that he was born here in Richmond, and now he's changing the skyline of Richmond. There's longevity. I told you earlier, I have people that are 80 years old that still come to me for training because they want to keep their licenses, or they want to give back, or they're still out there, you know, piddling or doing something in their retirement to make money. It's easily transferable. You can get a job here in Virginia and go to another state, go to another town. There's always going to be construction. And then one of the best parts is that you can earn money while you're learning to be a construction associate or professional. There is the college path. I never tell anyone not to go to college, but when you do go to college, oftentimes there's student debt. Sometimes there is a delayed period of time to start in your field of expertise. Sometimes there's little chance of making serious money while you're in college. And then sometimes when you graduate, it's hard to find a job. When you go the construction route, you have very little to no debt. I know people who have accrued $100,000 in college debt in 4 years, and I have construction workers who have made more than $100,000 in 4 years. You can start immediately. Sometimes there is company paid training. Sometimes you are paid to be in class as part of your job. When we talk about salary comparisons, just touching on this for a minute, right now minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. If you look at that for a 40-hour work week, you can see that's only about $15,000 per year. And I'm also showing you as the wage goes up based on 40 hours, what that equals to in a year. I know that there is a lot of talk all over the country about the $15 an hour minimum wage. However, even with 40 hours a week at $15 an hour, you are only making about $31,000 a year. There's no guarantee of 40 hours there. There are no benefits usually, no vacation, no opportunity for advancement. A lot of times there's no additional training. And then when you work nights, weekends, holidays, it's not always by choice. So the schedule's not always very accommodating as well, or very fun. So this is just some more graphics on showing you what you can make as you start to make more money. And then in construction, I do not know of any company that is not given 40 hours a week right now. And I work with at least 500 companies just here in the Richmond and Beach area alone. There are benefits, there's vacation, 401k, employee stock ownership, you have paid training. There are plenty of opportunities for advancement, even going into the office and into the field. Business development, ownership, all of that starting at the ground level makes you a better office person, a better estimator, a better project manager. There's specialty training. And of course, if you are working nights and weekends and holidays, you're making a lot more money. That Dominion project I showed you earlier, there was a crane operator, and we did the math on what that crane operator was making, and it came out to be about $3,300 per week, just based on what he made. And at the time he was working a 60-hour work week. I had my students in a classroom go back and calculate his salary. And this particular gentleman told us he only works 9 months out of the year because he makes so much money that he can take the other 3 months of the year off and go vacation somewhere. So that was kind of a fun story that we talked about. How do you start? We have the website, virginia.byf.org. If you go to this website, there are trade cards here that you can explore on particular construction jobs. There's also a craft labor demand that shows you what jobs are available or out there in every state. There's also a little quiz in here that you can answer questions, and it will guide you to one of these careers or other ones. So it's just a way to introduce you, to introduce your parents, to introduce your teachers and counselors to the construction industry. And we hope that you will visit us there and call me or reach out to a member of the staff on the BYF website to get in touch with us for more information. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Great information. And are we going to move on to Lockheed Martin? All right. Thank you. Next up, we have Lockheed Martin with Systems Engineer Manager, Ms. Melissa Boyle.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ms. Boddy. I will put it in presentation form here. Okay, so thank you for the opportunity to speak with everyone today to talk about Lockheed Martin job opportunities, whether you're going to college after you graduate or whether you're just looking for a full-time job. I've got a couple different opportunities that I'm very much looking forward to discussing with you today. So a brief introduction about myself. I've been with Lockheed Martin for going on 22 years, graduated from George Mason University with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics degree. And I spent most of my career as a systems engineer who got to go to several different submarines to do software and hardware installations. And then 3 years ago, took on this new role to lead the new initiative that what we call is Talent Apprenticeship that I will talk to you more about today. So with that, Lockheed Martin is the largest defense contractor in the world with over 100,000 employees. Our site in the Manassas, Virginia area has just over about 1,300 employees. Currently, about half of our employees are working virtually due to the pandemic. We are keeping only those essential employees on site that are working in the labs with the classified work that we do for our Navy customers. So we are taking this pandemic very seriously and are looking to continue to work and support our customer virtually at home and those that are on site. Those on site are following all the CDC guidelines and to keep each other safe and making sure that we can continue the work as we move on. 4 of our biggest programs at our site is our sonar submarine program, our surface ship program, aviation, and then our imaging program, which is actually the periscope of the submarine. And something fun and exciting that I like to share in how we utilize that periscope on the submarine is an Xbox controller. So that is an implementation, thinking digital transformation that we did several years ago. So very cool to have something like that, especially for those 18-year-old sailors that come right into the Navy. They pretty much have probably already played an Xbox controller and really know how to use the periscope on the boat. So that's something fun that we like to take pride in and thinking technology and moving towards our future. Lockheed Martin is very much involved in volunteering in the local community. Got several activities listed there that we take great pride in and supporting the American Cancer Society, leukemia, Race for the Cure. We have great community partnerships with Prince William County, Manassas City, and Manassas Park. I actually currently sit on the Spark Education Board, and I play the role as the secretary, as well as I sit on the CTE advisory board as well. So I really enjoy partnering with our local community and figuring out how we can continue to engage with our students and our administrators. Also, K through 12 initiatives is where our employees love to go out and stay involved in this classroom and expose students to science, technology, engineering, and math. We also take those students and bring them to our sites every year, especially women in STEM and engineering in STEM. This year it's been a little bit of a challenge since we can't go into the schools or have students come to our site. So we're looking at virtual ways to continue to stay engaged and provide them opportunities and show them that they may have an opportunity and love STEM in different ways. So we're looking for those new challenges and I'm going to really hit them head on. Here's a couple pictures from our Women in STEM and Minorities in STEM where we had the students come to our site. So our Women in STEM this year is actually scheduled for the first week in December, Monday through Wednesday. And it's going to take part in the evening from 4 to 6 p.m. So we'll have speed mentoring, a guest speaker, or working on an engineering project, different ways. And it'll be a challenge trying to do this virtual, but we're still very much excited about it. So looking forward to doing that. So job opportunities. So for those seniors that are going to go to a 4-year accredited college when they graduate, we want to make sure that they know to take advantage of internships. All of our internships at Lockheed Martin are paid, and they are paid very well. So they can build their resume, gain the experience, and make money through the summer. The important thing to note there is those job opportunities, the internships, especially in engineering, require a security clearance. So you want to apply in the fall and winter for that following summer. So right now, as it's November, all of the internships for next year are pretty much full. So we've been actively interviewing and offering jobs, and now those students are going to be looking to get their security clearance so they can start next summer. We also have functional roles, so those who are looking in a business area, finance or human resources, we have internships for those, and those you can apply for in the spring. They are unclassified opportunities. So this is another big program and a great follow-on to what was just presented to you in regards to apprenticeships. So just 3 years ago, we started this new program called T.A.L.E.N.T, which stands for Training Aspiring Locals to Engineer a New Tomorrow. So those students that are not immediately going away to a 4-year university, looking for the experience, maybe they want to work full-time and then go to Northern Virginia Community College part-time, say in the evening or online. This is the job for you. So we've got a variety of different jobs in hardware, software, systems engineering, lab. We also have program management. So anyone who has Microsoft Office skills that is looking to excel in those roles, we have those opportunities in addition to the internship. So very excited about this. We have grown significantly over the past 3 years. It is a full-time job, 40 hours a week, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that. And just a side note, something that was quoted just last year. So 2020, this year, only 35% of jobs are requiring a bachelor's degree. So a lot of people are looking for those different career paths as they graduate high school. So what is the Talent Program? So first, we recognize those programs like Project Lead the Way, Career and Technical Education, robotics. All of those opportunities and those classes are providing the technical expertise for students that individuals are developing prior to college. So they are learning those skills in the classrooms today that can make them a very valuable team member to Lockheed Martin. So we really want to grow and retain the local talent that exists right here in our backyard in Manassas. With Prince William County, Manassas City, and Manassas Park, we have 14 high schools that we have amazing talented students that are right here. So this is an early career opportunity with a path for advancement. And we provide training, mentorship, and that on-the-job experience. In addition to getting paid for that full-time job, we also offer full benefits. And one of those biggest benefits is college tuition reimbursement. So on day one, when you start as a Lockheed Martin employee, if you want to take classes and further your education at, say, Nova, since it's very local, as long as it's in a STEM degree or a business degree, you can get reimbursement for those classes. So very excited about that. This picture was taken of the apprentices back in October, so it is a year old, but still represents the majority of the folks in the team. So in the top right corner, that just kind of indicates what students are in our program right now from Prince William County schools. So you can see the significant amount from Battlefield and Patriot, and just being able to capitalize on all the Prince William County schools has just been exciting. And we just had 5 more accepted offers from the local county schools, and they're going to be starting right after the first of the year. So very excited to keep growing this program. I just want to note that the summertime is our biggest time for when we have new hires that join in June, July, and August, because that's when seniors are graduating. So here's our outstanding seniors that joined us this year from our local schools: Osborne High School, Patriot, Osborne Park, Freedom, Battlefield, and Forest Park High School. So great team members and really enjoying the program. Here are those employee benefits I talked about: medical, dental, and vision. We have a great holiday paid time off. And we are currently on a 980 flex schedule, which is where every other Friday we have off. Something that is changing at the end of this year. At the first of this year, we are going to a 410 schedule. So we will have every Friday off, working 4 days a week, 10 hours a day. But with the flexibility is still being able, if you can't get your 10 hours in every day, you have Friday as a flex. We know a lot of seniors that graduate are looking to further their education and taking those classes in the evening online. So we have that flexibility. 401k, and just thinking about employee engagement, we have a concierge office that offers a lot of benefits and discounts to local hotels and areas and recreational parks. Okay. So a security clearance process. So as I mentioned before, a lot of our engineering jobs require a security clearance. So I want to make sure everyone is building awareness of your digital footprint. The choices you make today through TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything that you do is part of your digital footprint. So please be aware and make sure that you're making good choices so that those choices don't impact your future, whether it's for a job, a career, or a college, or a sport. You want to make sure that the choices you make today are right ones. So how to apply? So www.lockheedmartinjobs.com, there is a keyword search box. And if you just put in engineering apprentice or internship as well, so I talked about that as well, put in the location that you're looking for and all the jobs that are available will pop up there. So you would just select apply now and create your profile. This is what that screen looks like once you use that keyword search box and the opportunities that pop up, whether it's for an apprentice position or an internship. So now I wanted to talk very briefly about building your resume and making sure that the resume that you're building really is a representation of yourself and your accomplishments. So you want to make sure that you are very full and complete on what you put in that resume. So you want to make sure you include your name, address, telephone number, and an appropriate email. Make sure that your voicemail is activated and that it is professional. Education, anything from an education, if you just graduated, with little experience, it's okay. Employment history, any and all employment. We would love to know if you've had a job, even if it's at Chick-fil-A or working at the ice skating rink, that shows responsibility and dependability. All your responsibilities, list those, certifications, skills, as well as personal interests and activities, any clubs that you were involved in. Also be sure to include all of those STEM classes that you participated in high school, as well as your skills in Microsoft Office. Here's what a bad resume looks like. Very plain, very simple, not very appropriate with an email. And just, I probably would not even give this resume a second look. I would not. We do get a lot of these type of resumes, and it's unfortunate because they probably have a lot of great skills and background, but they just didn't have maybe the help in putting together a good resume. Now, here is a really good resume with the name, address, professional email, the education that they're at, whether they're their first year at Northern Virginia Community College, your high school, your GPA, your classes, all your work experience, certifications and skills, and of course your honors and awards. This is a resume that's outstanding. I would give this person an interview. If they knocked it out of the park in the interview, I would then ask for references and we would go from there. So please make sure that you're taking the time to build a really good resume that reflects all of your skills and attributes. So back to talking about that Lockheed Martin MANASSAS, the talent piece of it. Again, we are looking to grow and retain the local talent that is right here and that path for advancement. So that star there represents the tuition reimbursement. I wanted to highlight two individuals. Ansif Seka was part of the program, is still part of the program. He's working part-time now. He worked full-time for 1.5 to 2 years, got his associate's degree from Northern Virginia Community College, paid for by Lockheed Martin, and is now at George Mason University, continuing his education while working part-time still with us and getting a degree in computer science. So this apprenticeship really has helped him and is going to continue to help him as he moves forward in his career. Next is Jacob Shamming, who is a graduate from Patriot High School, and he got 2 associate's degrees from Northern Virginia Community College while working full-time at Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin paid for both of those associate's degrees, and now he's at Virginia Tech finishing his degree in computer science as well. So an opportunity that gives you the jobs, the experience, the mentorship, and helps pay for your college while you continue to work. So again, college is not required. We have a path for advancement for those that are not going to college as well. Here is our talent flyer. These are actually apprentices. These are not staged characters for this flyer. These are individuals that are in the program. And this is how you apply with that website previously listed, and then put in those keywords, apprentice or internship. And with that, we'll go ahead and go forward to the next. That's all I have, Ms. Body. I will stop sharing.
Thank you. Awesome. I want to get hired at Lockheed.
We'll have you.
Thank you. So I am going to, if you will give me a hand raise, I'm not sure who is going to be next. Was it Billy?
JATC, yeah.
Yes. All right. You are on, Mr. Triplett.
All right, let me go ahead and unmute. Howdy, everybody. My name is Billy Triplett, and I'm the school coordinator here at MANASSAS Training. We are part of the JATC and IBEW, which is the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. I have been in this position as a full-time instructor as well as school coordinator for 5 years. You'll also see that Mr. Cash, who is the director of our program, saying hello. So I actually apprenticed many years ago with Mr. Cash, and I worked with him. And so part of what I'll be talking about in relation to the JATC and the IBEW is this type of relationship where we are building a career, and what we want to turn you into is the best electrical worker you can possibly be. Some background information with myself. I did go through and graduate the 5-year apprenticeship. I also happen to have a 4-year degree from Mary Washington University in English, which is a little bit different from an electrical worker, but it also paved the way for me to find myself into teaching, which is truly my passion. And so I'm going to go ahead and get the PowerPoint shared, and we'll kind of go through what the IBEW apprenticeship process looks like, and cover how to get an application in as well. Cash, did you want to chime in with anything real quick before I get going?
Well, what I would say is welcome everybody. And as you see, we'll go through lots of things having to do with our website and our opportunity. One thing we would always say is we don't discourage any type of education. I went to Radford University for 2 years, ran out of money, and at age 20, I joined the apprenticeship. That was 31 years ago. And I've been able to raise a nice family and provide them with everything they need. And so the opportunity, no matter what you take, whether it be college, military, or take an opportunity with Lockheed Martin or the trades, I would just say research out and find what's good for you, what you love, where your passion is. And maybe that's with us. Maybe it's with Lockheed Martin. Maybe it's with one of the community colleges, wherever it is. Make sure that when you wake up every day, you enjoy what you do, and you'll find yourself in a nice long career. So I might chime in when Mr. Triplett's in there. I have our website up ready to go and share that has maybe some things he doesn't have in his PowerPoint, and maybe we'll share that at the end.
Okay, let me go ahead and let me go here, and I'll get my PowerPoint up there. And so you should be able to see that. Slide some things, and I'll get my slideshow. All right, and so just making sure everybody can see NECA IBEW local. Okay, great. So NECA IBEW. IBEW stands for the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. NECA is our contractor side, which is the National Electrical Contractors Association. I have an interesting relationship with them as well. My father and my younger brother both were on the NECA side. I always felt that I chose the best side, and I went to the IBEW. And the IBEW is basically the electricians and the electrical workers that go out and fabricate our buildings and install electrical services into our buildings that are in the local area. If you have been driving around the area recently, you may notice that we've got a little bit of a data center problem, and that's a good problem to have. Ashburn, Haymarket, Manassas, Sterling, pretty much everywhere is in the data center business. So we are doing quite a lot of our business in those. The IBEW and the apprenticeship, we cross 3 jurisdictions. So we are both in Washington, D.C. We are in the Maryland area up to the Baltimore border, and we also cover Northern Virginia all the way down to actually Roanoke as well. We basically have 2 main training programs. The home office is in Lanham, Maryland, and then I am the school coordinator here in Manassas at our training center here, and then we also have training down in Roanoke as well. We are the local 26. That is our chapter ID. We have a long history in this area that actually relates back to the founding of the IBEW. We were chartered in 1891, and currently we have over 9,000 electrical workers in this metro area. We are one of the largest IBEW locals in the country, and we have over 170 signatory contractors. So this is one of the first, so on this slide, you'll see this is one of the first terms to kind of get under our understanding. So the term CBA, so this stands for collective bargaining. And so as union workers, we fall under an agreement that both NECA and IBEW and the contractors could come to an agreement on. And that CBA sets the pay scale. And essentially for our CBA is 3 years, that sets the amount that we are going to pay in, and as well as what we will take home, as well as have put into our retirement and our other funds. You'll see that's coming up in a little bit. So what does the union do for you? And how does it negotiate wages for you? All right. I'll get into some of that, but some of the things that the union side brings to you. So health insurance, dental care, vision. You will have a local 26 pension. The international IBEW, so the national office will also have a pension. NECA will also have a pension, and you'll also have a 401A, an annuity fund. This is basically 4 funds that are all on top of your Social Security that you will also collect. So by the time you hit your 30 years and are ready for retirement, you should, if you've been working and basically doing everything you're supposed to, you should have a pretty decent nest egg that is set aside. The annuity is through Fidelity as well. Now, when it comes to, so you might be sitting at home or watching this or however it is, and you're wondering, well, how much does all this cost? Well, how much do you want me to pay you for all this? I mean, I've heard from a couple folks, and I've done these before. A lot of the times, if you were to go for a 4-year college degree or whatever it might be, your college is going to provide you with a tuition bill. All right. If you go to community college, there's going to be, you'll get a document and says how much per class or per credit, how much it all costs. Our program basically is free. There is a application. I'll get to that, but there is a fee that you will pay to apply to the program. But other than that fee, we are going to provide you with all of your books. We are going to provide you with your contractor. So we're going to provide you with some place to go work. And as long as you stay in the workforce and do everything you're required to, you simply have to keep your grades above a certain mark. And in 5 years' time, you will be a journeyman wireman. And I'll get into some of the dollars and amounts that relates to coming up here in just a little bit. All right. But
Billy, if you could stay on that previous slide just for a second.
Sure.
But one key also is when you talk about yearly salaries, our benefits are paid by the contractor. So when we tell you what we make in our pocket, it's not the same as if you're working as a teacher, if you're working for the county where you get a check and then you have to pay your medical, you have to pay your benefits, you have to pay your dental and your vision. All that's paid for by our contractors as part of our collective bargaining agreement and benefit plan. What we tell you we get in our pocket is amazing. A starting apprentice will starting at $42,000 a year, and with benefits will make over $58,000. And that's to know nothing, no prerequisites. So that'll be coming up, but it's just a big difference when you talk about wages. Most people talk about their entire salary, and sometimes ours get lost in translation as we talk about what we get on our check, and there's so much more that you never see that's hiding in the background. Go ahead, Bill. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, an interesting story of this. A couple of years ago, I was doing an apprentice night out in Ashburn, Leesburg area, and we had high school students coming and speaking with myself and one of our organizers on the IBEW, and we were speaking with the student, and we actually ended up having the student and his father ended up both applying. So we see some interesting things like that. So pardon me.
Over 30% of our
Probably just-
student body that started this year already has a 2-year or 4-year degree, where they couldn't find a job out in the field and they came to the trades and applied to our program and got accepted. And working towards our program, they'll also be able to continue that education with the credits they receive through our ACE credits, which will be coming up in the slide also.
Yeah, I apologize for that. My phone started ringing. I do have students coming in at night in about an hour or so. So a percentage of your weekly gross wages on top of your the agreement with the IBW. So yes, there are union dues, as it says right here. So every three months, you're going to have about 128. Now, mind you, as the collective bargaining, the agreement. So for that time period, periodically, the amounts will go up, but not typically not very significantly. The other part, and this is built into that collective bargaining, is every so many months, you actually will receive a raise in your check as an apprentice. So what's one of the things that's different while you are in the apprenticeship is your promotions are based on both your school and how well you do there. So if you pass your school, and then also your working hours. All right. So this is some of what's coming up. Hey, Cash, pardon me a moment. I don't know who's blowing up my phone, but you mind speaking?
Yeah, go ahead. Can you give me the remote control?
Yeah, let me see if I can do.
Or maybe Alyssa might have to do that.
Yeah, that's someone at my.
I can't share his screen on behalf of him. He's sharing his screen, so.
So Cash, I just need to go run to the front door.
Okay,
Do you
go ahead. I got
talk to them? All right, I'll be right there.
I don't need this PowerPoint. I've been doing it. I tell you what I'll do is we'll jump into, and if I could share my, Billy, stop sharing your screen. Or
Okay,
Alyssa, you take it down. And what I'll do is remember where you're at on that PowerPoint. I'll share my screen, and what we'll do is we'll go through the programs real quick. What we do offer here is, and everyone can probably see my screen now.
Yes.
This is our website. If you go to the website, it is www.jatc26.org. And here you can find everything you need to know about the program. And so as you're looking at the program, if you click on here in the overview, it talks about how we have a 3- and 5-year program. The 3-year program is telecommunications. The 5-year program is our inside wireman. All those things that Mr. Triplett are talking about are right here, that any one of you students, parents can come to the website. You can explore all the different programs. The one I'm highlighting here is our 5-year program, the 3-year program. And the other one here is if you don't get into the apprenticeship, we have a helper program that we can put you to work on. If you click on any one of these programs from the website, you can go down, it'll tell you all about it, everything that you're going to do. And it also talks about the money, the pay, the benefits. It talks about everything you need to know. So here's a one-stop quick shop for anybody who's interested in the program can come here. But once again, it's easy to find. It's at JATC. You can see it up here in the browser, JATC26.org. I see Billy's back.
Yep.
He's going to get back into the PowerPoint program, but this kind of gives you a brief summary and something you can go to on your own time and explore all the opportunities here at the IBW and Local 26.
All right. Thank you, Cash, for covering for a minute there. Let me see if I can get back to my share.
Of course. Right, let me stop.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. I got a lot of windows. Let me find one. Let's see if this is the one. Okay. So you should see it. Are you seeing what if company runs out of work? Yeah. Okay. Yes. And so so part of how the IBW works is as the initial slide said, we have signatory contractors that have signed on with both NECA and IBW. And so as an apprentice, you are essentially guaranteed a job assignment. So if there is work, There are occasions. So most notably, actually almost 10 years ago, or over 10 years ago now, on occasion, there are times where work is tight. Right now, work is booming. We need workers. Our workforce is aging. And so the more workers that we could sign on or sign into any of our programs, if you were to, if you were working with a contractor and they no longer had a job for you to work, they would send you back. They'd give you a pink slip. It's not a bad thing. All right. This is the process. And you would go back or come back to the hall and we would send you back out to a job site. All right. And so, and just like that, as Mr. Cash mentioned, all right, we basically have 3 programs. Mostly what I'm talking about is the Inside Wireman. This is a 5-year program. The telecom, all right, so this gets into your data, video, and those things. That's a 3-year program. And then your residential, and that's a 10-year program. The benefit of getting into the 5 and or the 3-year program is those have day school. So what that means is you will attend once every 2 weeks, and you are paid to go to school in our programs. For the Inside and the telecom is 2 years of pay. The last year, so we essentially do a 5-year curriculum in 4 years, and in the last year you will take journeyman level courses, and the telecom program has you are looking to complete your certification in Bixby. The residential program is a night program. All right. So as this slide here, 5 years. So so when you complete the 5-year apprenticeship, you will then have the opportunity. So depending on whether you attend in Maryland or in Virginia, you will basically top out as a journeyman in the eyes of the IBEW, and then you'll have your opportunity to go and take your tests in Maryland. In Virginia, they have signed on and with our apprenticeship program, and you simply have to fill out your application with Virginia, and you will receive your electrical license from DPOR. And as it says, our program is essentially free outside of that initial payment to submit an application. Again, all of your books, your calculator, and so on, everything that you would need for school is going to be provided to you. Now,
it sounds, excuse me, Billy, so it sounds a little too good to be true, right? If you're talking about the parents and the students out there, and how do we do it? Well, the problem is that there is one catch. You can't choose us. You can't be Felicity Hartman and pay $400,000 and get into our school. You couldn't do it if you had $1 million. We're a registered apprenticeship program through Department of Labor, and we're a basic entry-level program. Everybody can apply, and everybody is interviewed. Everybody that does what they're supposed to do. So we can only take about 275 to 300 out of the 3,000 applicants every year. And this is why we have the other programs that you can work on until you get that. So you have to hit that top 300, and that's okay. A lot of you will, especially if we reach out to the STEM groups. We want you to hit those top 300s. We need you. We don't just need anybody. We want the top, the middle, the bottom. We'll take everybody. And this Inside Wireman program, although it is our day school program, you do get paid to go to school during the day. How do we do that? Well, our contractors and every worker, including myself and Mr. Triplett, we donate 80 cents per hour, and it all comes back into my budget as I run this program. It's a $12 million a year budget that we get to invest back in. $7 million of that goes directly right back to the students for stipend checks to pay them to sit at home right now virtually. They're sitting in their living room getting a paycheck while they're sitting in our classroom, virtually and in place. The other programs, the helper programs, not everybody can get into college. Not everybody can get into our program. So we have alternative programs. They're coming up on the slides that are following here. The telecommunications 3-year, and then there's the catch. That's what I just mentioned. That's right. I'm a little ahead of the slide program.
No, you're good. I was actually looking for the residential because what I wanted to mention as well. So So let's say you are interested in our program. So I'll go forward. So let's say you are interested in our program and you apply, you pay your fee, you take your test, and let's say you don't do so well the first go around, right? You do have to wait a full 6 months before you can test again. But once you have tested, and so let's say you take the test and you do well, but you go to the interview process and maybe you don't do so well, right? One of the things that many of our apprentices, and again, this is not a requirement, but many of our apprentices who do come in, they start in the R program. So they go into the residential, and so while they're working, they are working with one of our contractors, albeit at a lower end. But while they're working with one of our contractors, right, their application and is being processed. And so when it does come time for the interview, you know, they can sit there and say, well, what have you been doing with yourself? And it's like, oh, I've been working with one of your contractors, and so on. So let's get into right here. So as Cash said, this is a highly competitive. It is a highly competitive process. It does involve essentially 3 steps. You'd have to complete a application. The application is online at our website. You just simply click the Apprentice tab, and you begin to enter your information there. Once we have your information, there will be a verification process, which has gotten a little interesting with everything going on. So you just contact us, and we will provide you with a time or a day to come and verify your identity with a social security and a government issue ID. Once we have verified that, you'll be moved into a test date. Once you've tested, depending on how well you do there, you'll then go into a process of receiving a interview. All right, and from there, a decision will be made. So if you have gotten to the interview stage, you'll be put into, we'll have a file on you. And mind you, if you don't get in that first go round, we still have your file. You can apply the next year. I teach at nights, and I tell my students at night that are in the R program and who are trying to advance in that way, I tell them to every time it comes up, they should always be applying for this program. All right, simply for the benefits that it comes with, most notably the day school and your paid time in school. Students come once every 2 weeks for an 8-hour day. Right now, we are doing a hybrid model, so some come in class and then some are at home doing virtual. If the student keeps up their end of the bargain and you pass your test for the day, on those days where you're in class, you'll be paid for that day, and so on. The benefits, Pat, here's basically what it looks like. So from the get-go, from when you enter into the program, based on 2,000 hours a year, pardon me. All right, so can you imagine? I mean, some of you out there, can you imagine being 18 years old? I can't imagine it. I did not get in when I was 18. Can you imagine being 18 years old and making $72,000 a year? I was in my 30s and working 2 jobs and making $50,000. Right. So again, it's very competitive, but it's well worth getting into the program. As you'll see when we look at the other wage scales, it's a significant jump between the apprenticeship and the residential. All right. So a journeyman wage. So as a journeyman, all right. So with your wage package at 66, and mind you, this is as of a year ago in November. So you're bringing, this is take home pay. This is after taxes. This is what is going into your account, $132,000, and that's a significant amount, and that's after 5 years of time. And I have students who got in when they were 18, and in just a few years, in just a few short years, they were making quite, well more than many of their friends, and so on. So that's something to keep in mind here. Telecommunications. just to get into this, and I know I know we're a little tight on time, so I want to keep moving here. But your telecommunications, so if you are interested in data, your Cat 5, Cat 6, and those sorts of things, anything communication related, we do have a specific school for you. You would come one night every 2 weeks for 8 hours, all right? And at the end of the day, you would be paid for those wages. As you can see, there is a significant difference in pay on the telecom side, but at the same time, if you're interested in those things, we certainly would recommend that you apply, and we're still competitive here, at $80,000 a year take home. And mind you, you're also going to end up finish that program with a certification. All right. The application process. All right. So as Mr. Cash showed, so if you go to our website, and actually, so this $25 did increase to $50. So I did want to just mention that correction there on this slide. But you will basically, once you apply, we will know, as I said, we'll need to verify your identification with a government ID. It has to be an original Social Security card. We cannot take copies. And when you come, you also want to secure your high school transcripts. All right, they must be sealed and official transcripts, or a GED. All right, and as it says here, showing at least Algebra 1. All right, the test that you would sit for is going to be both a mathematics part and a English comprehension part as well. And again, it mentions that I jumped ahead this time, Cash. So, so now with everything going on, so the aptitude test right now, we are working on scheduling those. So there may, with everything happening with COVID, there may be some delay, but so we're not on the 2-week schedule right then. But if you apply, we will get you tested. That is for sure. Everyone will be tested. Our new students, they enter the program in the fall at the beginning of September. They will new apprentices who have gotten into a class. They will have some requirements during the summer months, but they will their class will start in just around Labor Day. So what that means in terms of applications. You need to have your application in no later than the end of March. So that is the cutoff for new applicants. If you get that in on that day, we will get you into the system, and we will get you tested and interviewed. So depending on your test score. We have, as it says, we do have 2 locations. So depending on where you are. But I think most watching this will probably be closest to Manassas, but you are certainly welcome to bring those documents and to either of these locations. And I certainly look forward to meeting everybody at another date. And Cash, did you want to add anything? So, because I think we did have one other individual who was going to speak.
Okay, well, let's.
Yes, we do. I just have one question. Is it possible to send us electronically applications and information that we can post on our website?
I tell you what we could do. We could definitely give you the link. We could also give you a Dropbox link for this presentation if you wanted to. But we could also, all the applications, everything is electronic now on our website. So if you get to that,
so the link is fine. Thank you.
Access to all of these things, Mr. Triplett. That's just the residential program they were talking about, the helper program.
Right,
if you just want to click on the slides there, so it'll at least be on the recording.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll do that
a little bit so people can see them. The website is very user friendly. Anybody that goes there can read about any of the programs, which will reiterate a lot of this information. It will take them step by step through the application process and everything they have to do step by step. So it's very, very user friendly. And we take applications all year long. We cut them off in March for the class that's starting in September. And once they start, they go nonstop for 5 years. There's no summers and winters off. It's nonstop, 4 years in the classroom and 1 year at night.
Awesome.
And they're always certainly welcome to reach out to me via email. I always will get back to them. So if they had questions, they wanted to chat with me about the program, I'm certainly willing to do that. And let me get this one last slide up there.
Sure.
And
take your time. You're going to end our program, so this is fine.
Oh, okay.
We're going
Okay, great.
to record later the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, Billy, if you want to, stop sharing, and I'll just go back to share the screen one more time here. And this is once again our program. This is our website. It's easy for you to find it right here at www.jatc26.org. You have plenty of tabs down here to the left. Any one of the applications you want right here, apply for apprenticeship today. If you click there, it'll take you to a step-by-step with hyperlinks to apply. Every step you have to do, all the steps that Mr. Triplett just mentioned about your identification is all right here. If you want to check out a different program, you could click right here on Start Your Career, and all the hyperlinks over here that'll take you right to those programs. Here's the last one that he talked about. It'll talk about all the wages, all the opportunity, the benefits. But most importantly, these two right here, these two tabs will show them exactly how to apply, whether it's for the residential program or inside the apprentice program. They can choose the telecommunication or the 5-year inside program. It's all right here, user friendly, and we encourage everybody to join. Go in here and sign up, even if you just want to be a helper and you just want a summer job or you want something like that. Go in there and see if you like it. If you don't like it, you haven't lost anything. You'll make a good wage even trying it out. If you like it, you can still go through the application process. One does not cancel the other one out. So while you're working, you can continue on trying to get into the apprenticeship program. So if you don't have any other questions, I think that's pretty much our presentation, and we hope to see everybody soon.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We look forward to sharing this information with all of our students and hopefully directing some of them your way. This is great information. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's good to see you again.
Thank you so much.
All right. Hopefully we'll see each other in person again soon.